Welcome to a whole new show for the RacerX Podcast Network. It's Daniel Blair's Main Event Moto podcast. I'm Jason Wygant, welcoming Daniel to the RacerX Podcast Network family. We also want to thank our sponsors who are helping make this happen, including Maxxis Tires. Now, look, you already know that Maxxis delivers the best tires for your bike, including that Maxxis MX-ST tire developed by Jeremy McGrath. But did you know Maxxis also offers high-quality tires for your car, your light truck, your trailer, your ATV, your mountain bike, and much, much more? Pretty much everything. So Maxxis Tires, they'll help you hook up, pull the whole shot, and beat your competition in any terrain or conditions. Just ask the king, Jeremy McGrath. To learn more, go to Maxxis, MAXXIS.com. And this podcast is also sponsored by ETS Racing Fuels. With unmatched consistency and performance, ETS powers some of the most winning teams in motocross and supercross. Now, you probably know the name to the riders, but why don't you know the name of the fuel? Why? Because champions don't give away their secrets. But now, with ETS's new online ordering system, you can have ETS Racing Fuel delivered right to your door, your shop, or racetrack. So it's easier than ever to get ETS's championship-winning performance in your tank. So whether you're racing a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke, 2 wheels or 4 wheels, visit ETSRacingFuels.com and you'll have your own winning secret to keep. ETS Racing Fuels, the most winning fuel you've never heard of. So now it's time to hand over the keys to Daniel Blair, his producer Joe, and whatever other wackos they can bring into the studio for the Main Event Moto podcast right now.
Thanks for listening to Main Event Moto.
Skivvy Underwear, skvi.com. Team Skivvy, baby.
Ah, yeah, this is nice. Snuck out here to the public pool at night with the wood grain.
Team Skivvy, baby.
What was that?
Team Skivvy, baby.
What's up, Scummy? Founder of Skivvy Underwear, right?
Team Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, Team Skivvy.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Team Skivvy. Skivvy Underwear, I get it.
Team
you don't
Skivvy,
have to
baby.
keep saying
Team Skivvy,
it.
baby.
Dude, you're so... Man, just get off me. Let me go.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, Scummy, you don't have to try to drown
Team
me.
Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, I get it. Team Skivvy.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna get some Skivvy Underwear.
You're listening to the Main Show, a Main Event Moto podcast, powered by Nature's Bakery.
It's time for another episode of Main Event Moto. I do not know the number because I didn't ask before.
127.
Episode 127 of Main Event Moto, brought to you by Nature's Bakery, Fly Racing, Skivvy Underwears, Mika Metals, Scott USA, No Toil, Honda Cowie, K-Team of Modesto, Guts Racing, EMT Racing, Key Bar, Rep Racing, and Motosport.com. What up, Joe?
What's up, brother?
It's bacon in here.
Is it? It's not too bad.
It is
Feels
Kevin
all right.
Bacon.
It's hotter the last couple days.
In this bat cave right now.
Yeah.
Old
Kevin Bacon.
What's the
He's
movie
solid.
where he's invisible? He's like a doctor guy.
The Invisible Man.
No, what's it called? Where he's
I forget. Yeah,
Damn it.
Elizabeth Shue's in it too.
Who's that?
Come on,
Chick
bro.
from Karate Kid.
God.
What?
Yeah, dude.
She's like been in
Chick from
tons
Karate
of
Kid.
stuff.
Chick from Karate Kid?
Like the older Karate Kid. Not
give me a checkity check, Mike.
Checkity check, Michael.
That's Mike Mason on the mic. What's up, Mike?
I'm just chilling, hungover.
Hung up from last weekend still? Oh, yeah. So we didn't do a show last weekend. We finally got a well-deserved weekend off, right, Joe?
Totally.
And instead of lounging around, I went to a wedding. Had a good time.
Went to a wedding.
Went to a wedding. How was it, Mike?
It was so fun.
Yeah, your voice is raspy.
Hey.
Yeah,
Hollow Man.
Hollow Man.
Yeah.
You ever seen Hollow Man, Mike?
I have not.
It's good.
It's horrible, but
Rotten Tomatoes gives it a
Kevin
score
Bacon.
of about 29%.
There we go. That's everything.
I know. Hey, how you feeling, though? You're hung from last night. I saw your Instagram story. What were you guys doing?
Well, I don't know. Honestly, I wish I had a good story for it. We went
It's
golfing.
on your Instagram story.
Yeah, we went golfing at like 8 in the morning, and then we wanted to do a barbecue, so we had a barbecue at the house, throwing horseshoes and stuff, and then the sun went down, and I don't remember a whole lot.
Speaking
That
of
was
barbecue, we have a good question for Mike about barbecue. We'll ask that later.
Yeah, let's just get it over
Want to
with
get over?
now. Yeah, I saw
What are you
that
getting
too.
down with the Traeger, bro?
Yeah.
What are you throwing on that bad boy?
Everything.
Everything. It's so easy.
Gotta get one of those.
It's
yeah,
cheating,
you got
right? Isn't
It
it
is. It's
cheating?
cheating, but it's good because it's like it just comes out way better.
It does.
And you don't have to sit there.
And you didn't
man,
bring me
like-
anything, did you?
Nope.
I
I
asked
told you. You
There was nothing
eat two
left.
things. You eat mac and cheese and pizza, and I didn't make either of those.
You can't make those on the Traeger?
You can make them. I just didn't.
Hell
make
yeah,
them
you
yesterday,
can,
so I
bro.
can't bring you
Better
nothing.
be able to. What's up, boys? How we doing?
So good.
Good. Yeah, it's hot here. It's dry. Millville, nah. Little muddy, little sloppy. It's about time we had a good one of them this summer, though, right? Wait, has there been a muddy
Yeah,
one?
Hangtown, dude, was so muddy.
Oh, yeah, Hangtown.
I was sitting here buzzed watching it, remember?
That's right. You always do the muddy shows.
Yep.
That was cool because it started off kind of dry and then just dumped.
And then this one was the reverse. The first motos were sloppy. Second moto, the track was pretty sick. I mean, still tough and sloppy, but good. Like charging. Good weekend for Cooper Webb. Gets the 1-1 out of, I wouldn't say out of nowhere because he's been getting better, but a 1-1 is still a lot better. You know, I read somewhere, that's his first podium outdoor ever on a 450.
Really? Dang.
Just right to the dub.
Yep. That's how you do it.
Right?
Yep, that's
Just
how you
skip
do it.
third and second. You know what's crazy, though, is I want to give him all the credit in the world because you go 1-1, you earn it. You deserve it, right? Tomac, though, was pretty goofy. Anderson was really goofy. Marvin was goofy. Osborne was good. Second. Oh, look at this kid playing in the puddle.
Look at that. Baby Evan right there.
Yep.
A young Evan. Is that you, Evan? Got Evan in studio, too. I'm babysitting him today, so he's stuck with me.
That might have been me last night. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was. Rolling around in the puddle?
Yep.
But good ride for Cooper Webb. Good ride for Adam Cincerella. We're going to break down both classes and then get to our listener questions. And we'll get to our motosport.com $250 giveaway. I'm going to change it up. Joe, Marvin's not playing along. It's just not fun.
What a lame-o.
We haven't heard anything. He had over 300 comments on his last post 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't think, you know what? I think the Russians are running his account, and it's just a bot. I don't think anyone's running it because, dude, there's no way he's not seeing what we're doing to him.
He's the Beyonce of Moto. He just never responds publicly.
Responds. Yeah, Mike, so what we've been doing is we give a $250 gift card away every week from motosport.com. We've been picking a rider to troll on Instagram and just go at him real hard, and then I just pick, a number between 1 and 300, and that guy wins. Well, Marvin, 3 weeks in a row, we've been just hammering his Instagram, and no response. None. So I've decided to change it up. Can we just do it now, Joe, and get it over with?
Let's do it.
That's not what happened, Evan. I like your creativity in your mind, but that's not it. All right, we're going after Cooper Webb this week. I want you all to hashtag Bout Time. BOUTTIME. All right? When you hear the show, hashtag Bout Time, and I want you guys to flood this fool on his Instagram page, and then I'll pick a number between 1 and whatever, and you'll win a gift card to motosport.com.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, so give Cooper the goods. So, Mikey, what do you think? AC, last time you were in here was a Sloppy Joe Mud race. AC had a pretty good day, got himself an overall win. Here we are with another one, gets the 3-1, the overall. More importantly, though, he stops the bleeding. Ferrandis won 4 of 5, was starting to chip away, and Adam answered. And it's starting to get to that time of year where you got to answer those, right? I mean, it's championship time. Yep. Dylan gets within a race. Adam says, nah. And it's about time. For him, it's about time.
What's the points at right now?
It's got to be in the
This is how much I pay attention.
30. It was 25, and then I think he got at least, I don't have it in front of me.
Well,
but
he's got a comfortable lead. Like
he's
got some room for error because we know how AC is. Every once in a while, something will happen.
What do you think about that, though? This room for error. See, AC's got this new thing going on where he decides he doesn't want to ride on the track no more. He likes to ride on the side of the track at all times, and that's it. There he goes up the inside. Who's that?
I don't know, but they go.
Oh, Ramier Alves, which is weird. I don't know if it's mud or what, but is mud a race where? Oh my gosh, he hops back on. Yeah, we're rewatching the first. Yeah, this looks like
250 Moto
good.
1.
Moto 1, we're rewatching, but he's got comfortable lead now. But dude, he is still just can't stay on the track. He's all over the place, and my biggest fear is one of these is gonna catch him.
Yeah,
how many times are you gonna go off the track, somehow pull it off, before finally one of these times it's gonna get you? I guess we're making progress, right? He's not going down as much.
Yeah, I think Supercross changed him a little bit. He's going off the track, but who cares?
It's a step.
There's not much off the track. There's just a little yellow stake you can go around.
Well, in Supercross, there's not much room.
Back in the day, we were getting
track.
banners in our wheel and stuff.
That's right.
Losing brakes.
Casing. Oh my God, that looks horrible. Back in our day, you would case a hay bale.
Yep.
Those aren't forgiving.
Get the wire in your wheel.
Get the wire in the wheel.
You're DNFing.
Speaking of DNFing, how's your Millville life?
I DNF'd so hard there. That was my second national I ever made. Dude,
was on your way to being your best.
Yeah, it was like 90 degrees out, and that was back in the day when I didn't have a mechanic or nothing, so I drove all the way there with Scott Davis.
Davis.
Yep, me and him teamed up. I pitted out of my van, and that was when you had to ride a Saturday qualifier, a Sunday qualifier, and then the motos. So in between the Sunday qualifier and the motos, I went, because when you made the motos, you got new tires, like Bridgestone, I think, would do it for you, you know? So I'm working on my bike, wash it, get the new tires, and the next thing I know, I sit down to like eat a sandwich, and the horn goes off for like the staging or whatever, and I'm like, oh dude, it was like 90 out, I'm just dying. Get like
before the first
moto, dude, and get one of those random like accidental good starts, and there was no one around me. Like I got to like, because remember James Pavolny? Yeah. So he's in front of me.
He's a Minnesota dude too.
Yeah, he was in front of me, and I was looking at his pit board, and his mechanic said he was like position 10th or whatever. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm in 11th. This is money. And I was by myself. Like
that's probably the worst thing.
Yeah, I was.
Did you start thinking?
No, I was just like, I got this, dude. I'm gonna cruise, and I'm like, okay, I keep just lap after lap, and I'm like, here we go. Halfway should be or 2 lap boards should be coming out here soon, because it felt like I was out there for an hour, and I came around and it was the halfway mark, and I'm like, dude, I started seeing stars. I'm like, I can't do it. So I pulled off under a tree and watched the whole moto.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, I did that at Hangtown one year, but I wasn't tired. It was just a good spot to watch.
Oh, dude, I was so tired.
Before, what's crazy is how different it was back then. Saturday, dude, you had to go through some shit just to get to the National.
Yeah, that's what was gnarly about it. You were like legit racing all the way up to the
gate
motos.
Drop on Saturday was sketchy. Mm-hmm. Then a gate drop qualifier on Sunday. And then you get to the motos, Joe, and you've already raced a bunch, and dude, the intensity it's different now. These guys legitimately, if they want, this race was different because of the weather, but you go out there and sprint like your first 3 laps of qualifying, you're in, it's done. Then you can go in, mess with the bike, whatever. We used to have to go through qualifying practices and then a heat race, if sometimes an LCQ, just to get into the damn thing. Then the top 10 guys were always seated in gate pick. So even if you won your qualifier and shredded, you're 11. Say you get 5th in your qualifier and you're like, sick. Dude, you're like 25th gate pick or 23rd gate pick or something like that, So different times, of course, but that's why you get to the motos and you're wiped out already, because you're already going through a lot.
Yeah, like I said, I was doing everything myself, from prepping my bike for the motos, and so it was just a lot. But then the thing that really bummed me out, Steel City, was like 3 weeks later, and I charged the whole moto, and I got 23rd. It was just bad luck, man. I thought for sure I was getting some point. I never got a point. And
I never got a point out there.
I was bummed.
I wasn't bummed. I didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was just trying to tell the fans out there.
You didn't care. Yeah, I know you well enough to know.
I was already going to freestyle at that point. I didn't care.
Were you were mentally checked out physically, though? You were stuck there?
Yeah. Well, I mentally still thought I was a racer, and then I realized I went to Millville, and the week before, I think I did like 3 laps in like 100-degree heat and just pulled off and went and sat in my truck.
Yeah, you're like,
so
no.
if I'm only doing 3 laps and I'm about to go to a national and ride for 35 minutes, that's not very smart.
So since we're on the topic of being a quitter, congrats on your retirement.
Yeah, thank you.
Proud of you, dude. It's official.
Yeah,
well, is it?
Yeah, it is.
What happens if a call comes, Mike, dude?
No.
We need to send you some money. You got to do a tour.
I've already had 3 calls. It's funny. Like,
really?
Yeah, Nitro hit me up. They've got a couple shows, and like this fair here in Sacramento, I could have done again, and it was just time, dude. I've been, the thing is like the riding's not scary. I've been doing the same tricks forever, and the jump's not scary. It's the same jump every time. But what was starting to get scary is just, my brain wasn't into it no more. Like when I was riding these last Nitro shows, I was legit going up the ramp, and I'm like following Adam Jones or whoever it is, and I'm just like staring at the back of his jersey.
Thinking about your Traeger.
Not Traeger and some Coors Lights, It's
wow.
It was
wow. You were thinking about Coors Lights for the last 2 decades?
Yeah. It's been a while,
so don't act like that's...
I've been liking your farewell tour, though, saying thanks to everybody.
Yeah.
Even Rockstar got a little love, bro.
Oh, well, dude, they paid me a lot of money over my time, and, they work...
Now that you're done, you can look back, you can appreciate the chapter and not be caught up in the ending, but you can go, that was a good period of time with some money.
Yeah. I was kind of upset with them the way it all went down, but at the same time, I was very thankful. They're part of the reason why I got to save some money and, invest in a little real estate here and there, because their checks were good, so...
Hell yeah.
But you guys know how it is. Like, dirt bikes are expensive, man. Even the people, Dunlop giving me tires or Pro Taper giving me bars, it's like... that's $300-$400 when you're buying it. So I'm thankful, and I was fortunate enough to kind of keep the same sponsors for pretty much 15-20 years.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And now you're done, and your retired life, going to the fair to watch.
Going to the fair to watch. It's going to be so awesome.
You do realize that add 20 degrees with the blacktop, right?
Oh yeah,
it's gross.
Bro,
out there
I lived out there for like 3 years. It was not fun. 800 jumps.
Yeah, over the course of 3. How many weeks was it?
About 2.5.
2.5. Yeah.
Oh wee.
Every day. Not even like a day off. It would be like 20 days. They would just.
Yeah, that's
3
all
shows
day, every day, all day, every day.
It's crazy.
How worked were you by the end of that? Like
just like mentally, because the shows are easy. It's really like I think 15 jumps total. and the shows go quick. But man, by the end, because you're riding on cement, so that's always just a stressful part of it. Because you don't want to even if your foot slips off or you miss your bar or something go down, that's taking you out.
Right.
So that you get pretty wore out, but. Yeah, I mean, we added it up one time. I think it was 850 jumps we do throughout the whole thing. And I have like 6 tricks, so picture that.
Man.
Just repeating, dude, 855
Superman's
jumps. Yeah,
over and over. Hey, so back to Millville. I got a question for both of you guys. I got a little bit of an opinion on this, but I'll give it to you first. When you see a mud race like this, obviously for the championship it matters. Like AC does what he needs to do. It's important for him on this day, but for a guy like Hunter Lawrence who wins the first moto, how much credit do you give a guy for having a great day in the mud, and how much do you smash a dude who has a bad day? There was some good dudes that literally sucked yesterday. Do you just give it it's a wash? Because if they're not in the title chase, it really doesn't matter anything towards the points. It's just a day of racing. But how much credit do you give, and how much smashing do you give if a guy's good or bad in an environment like this? It's kind of hard,
I give him a ton of credit because how it is. The mud's unpredictable. You could feel confident and have all your lines dialed and then just crash like out of nowhere, slick.
So a guy like Lawrence who gets another moto win in these conditions,
I think that's awesome.
He deserves, okay.
And then I wouldn't really smash people because for the same exact reason, it is unpredictable. I mean, stuff happens. Once you crash once, your glove's muddy, handlebars, grips, everything. And, who knows? It just makes it really tough.
Joe, what do you think about that? I think I'm in the same ballpark as Mike. I feel like it's similar to Monster Cup. You know how I talked last year? If you do really good at Monster Cup, like, you deserve some credit. Like, hey, you came to play, you did well, you look good. But if you do bad there, it's like I won't trash the guys who do bad, but I'll give props to the guys who do good because it's weird circumstances.
Totally with that.
Does that sound fair to you?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I see Lawrence do what he did, and then you see Henry Miller and John Short, 2 privateers, in the top 10. I think Miller got 5th the first moto. John Short, they're beating factory dudes, and I know that the mud's got something to do with that, and you're beating Anderson and Rocks and all these guys, and to some point it's like, okay, it's not fully realistic, but you got to give props for a guy for pulling it off because they all lined up, they all rode to the checkered, and even though the track made the conditions weird, I feel like you got to give love to the guys that bust out in that environment. And again, I won't smash the dudes who have an off day because I get it, it's weird.
Yeah.
But the guys who do good, there's a little bit of an asterisk next to their result. But in my opinion, I don't think
got to finish a moto. and do good,
that's not fair all the way. I think they deserve it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I always look back to like '91, like John Dowd and Doug Henry when they won Hangtown. Like that was a lake. It wasn't even a mud
I would say
race.
that wasn't mud. That was a water race.
Yeah, they were kind of unknown privateer guys, kind of trying to make it.
But what did it do?
And look at their careers.
What did it do for them? You get a couple of those finishes, and all of a sudden you get some confidence, but you build off it. And if you're John Short and Henry Miller, you've already been having a pretty good summer. You've been riding well, but dude, a race like this is where your hard work pays off. You get the results, your sponsors dig it, you get yourself more on the map. Now, if they can take that and go to the next one and not do the same, because I'm sorry, but Miller's not going to get 5th at Washougal, but go 9-9 there, and now it's like, dude, okay. Like, you built off of a race that maybe a lot of people quit on.
You know what I think's awesome is when you're a privateer and you get like 5th place in a mud race and it's your best finish ever. You made like $150 so you can repair your bike from all the damage. That's what I really love about it.
Well, you can repair like half your clutch.
Yeah, maybe a
half
lever.
The plates.
A lever and a throttle tube if you're lucky.
Just some like bike wash just to get the mud off the bike.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that's another point we should make. Just you got to give props to the mechanics and the teams. Their job is tough enough, right? On these days, their job is 5 times tougher. So it's for the riders, again, for the riders who do good, their mechanics deserve a lot of props too, and they probably feel good about it. Because if you're a mechanic and you're out there cranking it and your guy's out there getting worked, the mechanic's probably like, dude, I'm doing a lot of work for you, and what are you doing for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the mechanics. They have a hard job to do anyway, but I feel like they should get extra props for a day like this, and the guys that do good, they get rewarded. You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
I think the team should throw them a little bit something too. It's like,
can you imagine the stress? Like if you're AC or Ferrandis' mechanic and there's points on the line and that bike's smoking right there,
and your guy's bike is smoking halfway through. Which I loved in the broadcast. They kept talking about how he likes to use his clutch, and they're trying to give him the pit board and saying, "Yo, lighten up on the clutch." And I think Will or one of them joked around like, obviously he wasn't listening at all because 15 minutes in, the bike is smoking. But to his credit and to the mechanic's credit, It made it.
It made it.
But at the same time, I can't help but harp on Ferrandis a little bit. Actually, you know what, Joe? Can we just do uppers and downers now? Because I got a point I want to make on Ferrandis and on Ken. I want to get it over with now. Let's do it now.
Uppers and downers brought to you by Fly Racing.
All right, Joe, I'm going to start on my downer, all right?
Yeah.
It's Dylon. So you do a pretty good job at closing the gap, right? He started off a little goofy. He closed it out 4 to 5 wins. Oh, look at Hartraff is pissed right there. Especially, hey, Mike, the worst thing ever, when you fall on your throttle side. Because you know then you got issues the rest of the moto.
That's what I was saying earlier.
If you're going to fall in the mud, put her down on the left side. But yeah, so for Ferrandis, Mike, he closes the gap. He gets it within a race. He's got all the momentum. He gets the weekend off, which maybe that hurt him. I don't know. Maybe it hurt him, helped AC, whatever. Or it was just the track conditions. But I'm down on him because at this point in the championship, when you have 5 to go, you really can't afford an okay day. And for him, when you've won 4 or 5 races, you can't go 5-4 and lose all those points to Adam. I mean, he literally, let's see, he gets 34 points, Adam gets 45, he loses 11 to him. You're just not in a position where you can afford that anymore. You have to bring your most clutch performances from here on out. Like, you can't miss one.
Yeah.
So the guy goes 5-4 for 4th overall. I'm just down on him because I know he's down. Because he probably went in the break thinking, okay, I've made up the ground and I'm ready to make my run. And now he's flying home going, damn, that's a momentum killer, and now it's shifted back to Adam, and you're going to a track where Adam's good. I think he's really good at Washoe. Maybe it was the weather, maybe whatever. It was just not the day to go 5-4. You can't afford that anymore. The 5-4 days are over. That was in the beginning, and to make this a title run, he needed to be better than that, and he wasn't.
He's got like we were saying about AC too earlier, is you just never know when that DNF happens or, something weird happens. Not saying it will, but he needs to really just keep the pedal to the metal there and stay close to him because, like you said, losing 11 points in one day, that's not good with the amount of rounds that are left.
No, and you're still going up against Adam, who has had a tendency to throw things away. Again, he is so trying to throw it away right now every week by going off the track, but what happened there? He kicked you in
He's playing footsies with me.
Evan, remember, this is a guy you kicked in the rib cage.
Yeah,
a long time
I've never
ago.
been the same since.
Right in the kidney.
Right in the kidney.
Do you remember?
It's okay.
Sorry.
Your dad just likes to bring it up.
It was cool. It's the proudest I ever was.
That kind of hurt, dude, for whatever age he was. I was
proudest,
like, dang.
Proudest fatherly moment, Joe.
Like father, like son.
I don't know. It was like 5 years
Kicking
ago. How old
Kicking
are you?
people.
I know, right?
So you're like 4. You got a foot on you, dude.
I know. Maybe he should be an NFL kicker.
Right?
Anyways, that's my downer. Joe, what do you got for a downer?
Downer's Geico, dude.
I know why.
Craig and Sexton
I know
screwed
why.
me. I'm murdered.
So Joe, for our fantasy league, by the way, for those of you listening in, you need to pay close attention because I don't want to hear it because I feel like I'm going to hear it.
Uh-oh.
There's one more round in our fantasy league, and then after that, the top 75 are going into a chase format for the end. If you are not in the top 75, do not hit me up afterwards and wonder where your team went. It's done. You're out. It's a chase format. You had to qualify. So with that said, Joe is making a last-ditch effort. He started strong. He's had a rough go. He came to Millville ready to play. And did you know that early in Moto 1, dude, Craig and Sexton were both. Look at Sexton's in 6th. Well, Craig's out, but he was in the top 10, Joe. You were looking
I know. I was stoked.
And then what happened?
Yeah, it all fell apart.
2 DNFs by
The
the two
mud.
bikes.
The mud is what happened.
And Joe, you're in like 250th place now. You are pretty much out of it. I, on the other hand, right around 60th.
Screw you.
So surviving, barely, but probably going to make the playoff. And then it resets, everybody. It's a reset. And then we go all in for a 3-race runoff. So if you're the leader in fantasy and you're freaking out why it resets, you do the rules. I explained them. Don't hit me up after Washougal freaking out. Please. I beg you. In fact, if you do, I'll put you on blast on the next week's show. Do not hit me up after Washougal with issues with fantasy. There are no issues. Mike, what about you? What's your downer for Millville?
The mud. It's such a rad track. Like, I've always liked the layout, the jumps, the hills, everything. And then, when you get to a mud race, it's just everyone's riding with both feet down and rolling over everything. Kind of like, Millville is one of my favorite nationals of the year.
I mean, there's a debate to be had that it maybe is the best. I mean, for me, Red Bud's the best.
Red Bud's up there,
I'd
yeah.
put Millville. I like Bud's Creek a lot. I'd put those 3 in their own little
Yeah.
pocket there on the podium. And
Yeah.
it's kind of a wasted round to go mud. I've always preferred when it's like Unadilla, because Unadilla is...
or Hangtown. Like when Hangtown was a mudder, it like made it actually more entertaining because that track's kind of boring.
Exactly. Or Unadilla, because that place handles the weather pretty well. Like last year, I mean, we've had a bunch of mudders at Unadilla that always turn out pretty good. And this one turned out okay.
It turned
wasn't
out all right,
bad.
but...
I know what you're saying is this is one of those tracks where I want to see it at full... I want to see it perfect, because these guys, they'll go at... I mean, this is a good racetrack, and for the most part, even that 452nd Moto, the Webb-Roxon battle was good, but it would have been a lot better if there was more than one line. You know what I mean? They were definitely funneling in and out of the one line, and it's okay, but I'm with you. A mud race, I mean, it's I'll give props to the guys who do good, but I would prefer it to not be a mudder. And when I woke up Saturday morning and I was obviously on the internet looking, and I'm like, it's delayed, and I'm looking, I immediately go to my weather app, and I'm like, like they're getting hammered, but oh well, it's pretty good. Ready for uppers then? My upper's gonna be a weird one, and it's a pretty negative upper. And all right, so Ken Roxon's second moto was pretty awesome, right? We agree? I mean, he went at it with Webb, almost got the win, battled it out. But something stood out to me. It was his Instagram post. Ken Roxon is not afraid to be open and honest, which I like. He'll tell you when something's right. He'll tell you when something's wrong, whatever. But he's got this thing going on right now where whenever he has a good moto, he lets us know on Instagram how he went back to his base setting. So my upper is Ken Roxon's base setting, because when he rides on his base setting, he's really, really, really good. My advice for Ken and Honda and whoever is out there, if you could send the message, please do. Stick with the base setting all the time. Just stick with it. You're dungeoning out there, messing with too much stuff, trying too much stuff. Every time you go back to the base setting, you're awesome. Imagine how good you would get if you just left the base setting alone and just got used to that 100% and said, forget it, I'm not changing another thing again this year. In fact, that's what they should do. It's the end of the championship. You're not in the title hunt. Don't change another thing. See what it's like to go 4 rounds without changing one thing on your bike. And I promise you, Ken, 2020 will be better for you, because you'll start a new pattern, which is adjusting around a setting that you like instead of always trying to find something new. I think this is the third time this outdoor season where he's had an Instagram post where he says, went back to my base setting for Moto 2, felt unbelievably better. Mike?
So, yeah, that's so weird how, I don't know, like I've talked about on the show before, sometimes you get that nervous energy where you're just trying to constantly work on something, and, you think there's something better out there, but sometimes what you've got, what you're doing good with, what the results are coming with is all you need,
Especially if you can develop comfort around that.
Yeah.
I really believe that the off season is the time to experiment and toy and test. And once you get your setting done, you got to be done with it.
Yeah.
Because if you're not done with it, then you're second guessing all the time, and you're giving yourself an out. Every time you don't feel right, boom, the bike, go back. You know what I mean? I've dealt with that with Jacob this year. Jacob Hayes, when the season started, he was messing around with it a lot. And finally, after Paula, we just made the decision. It is what it is. Even if it's not good, don't do anything about it. Yeah. Leave it alone. And since then, he's gone like 2 or 3 clicks a weekend based on whatever the track is. And other than this weekend, the mud is completely different. But things got better because you develop comfort. Being comfortable on a bike that's set up 90% right is better than being uncomfortable on a bike that's 100% right.
Yeah.
So
and especially at the speed these guys are going now, it's like
way too fast.
Yeah, you don't want to go switch something and go out in Moto 1 and it's completely off and you're trying to force the issue, and something bad happens. It's like, just stick with what you know, fine tune it a little bit, and like you said,
but the fine tuning comes with what? It comes through the clickers, maybe a sag, a millimeter.
Like, I'm talking basic. You're just slowing the rebound down or something. You're not getting crazy trying to hold new suspension spec or whatever it may be.
So I'm not trying to come down too hard, but again, at the same time, it's like, the problem. You say it on Instagram yourself. You already know.
Yeah.
The problem is you're trying too much stuff. Leave it alone.
That sucks for him to put it on Instagram too, because I'm sure all 1.3 million people that look at that are probably like, man, stop messing with stuff.
Well, I mean,
stop.
He's got the answer to his own problem,
yeah.
Which is you're trying too much stuff, you're experimenting, and I get there's a point where it's like, hey, we're in the middle of the season with no championship, maybe now is the time to try different things. But if you keep coming back to the base setting, sounds like the base setting's pretty damn good, because some of your craziest impressive rides this summer have come on that setting. It sounds like that setting. Look at there's AC off the track again. I'm telling you right now, one of these is going to cost him.
Yeah.
Dude, Redbud was bad. Lakewood was bad. This one wasn't as bad because the mud, whatever. But Adam, I don't know. You got
Track's like 40 feet wide, dude. Keep her in there.
you got a lot of space, bro. It's going to cost you. One of these is going to cost you if you don't be careful. You're building a bad habit. You don't want to fall into that. So yeah, that's my upper. My upper is Ken Roxon's base setting, which allows him to ride to full potential, which is when he's his best. Which would we agree? We want to see Ken at his best. He's better up front than he is in the back.
Yep, agreed.
So my advice if I'm Honda right now, if I'm Eric Kehoe, I'm literally going to Ken and saying, hey, guess what? All of our tools are gone. We lost them all. We can't get into your suspension for the rest of the summer. You're done. You're going to ride this setting for the rest of the year. And watch what happens when you develop a full comfort.
You know what they should do is just mess with them and say they switched everything, and it's the exact same setting.
No, you want to hear the best story ever? Remember Robert Harold?
Oh, yeah.
Robert was one of my good buddies growing up as a kid. Robert, if you listen to this, I apologize, but I got it. One of the best stories of all time. I got to put you on blast. I apologize. When we were little kids, we were at Hollister one time, and remember Robert's dad, Ray, was good with bikes.
Yep.
He was, motor guy, suspension. He could tinker, fine tune. He's really good with bikes. Well, I remember Robert one time at Hollister was complaining about the bike. This is on like 80s, I think. And he's like, the bike, the suspension, whatever. And Ray's like, get in here. And they're kind of yelling, whatever. Ray gets down, starts clicker and everything, making all these adjustments and goes, okay, go. And Robert went out and shredded, dude, like 2 laps, dude. Came back in and goes, it's way better. And Ray goes, I never touched anything.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
Awesome. It's all mental.
Yeah,
it's all mental. And that's, again, and for these riders, they find a setting that works. They feel like I could be so much better if I could just find a little more. And then the more you go off the base setting, you start experimenting. It don't work right. You're trying too much stuff. You don't have time to develop a comfort. It reacts weird. You have a bad moto. Boom, back to basic setting. Boom, good result. So again, one of the best things I heard this year was during Supercross. I think it was like the 5th round in. Someone on Race Day Live, it might have been Holly, interviewed Faulkner's mechanic. The bike looks good. What is Austin? Has he found something with the bike? And the mechanic goes, we haven't changed one clicker since round 1. Not even one. He just, if it's a little he adjusts. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Get the bike to 90%, and then it's on you to be adjustable. And if you could develop that as your base setting, that it's on you to adjust, dude, you will there's Adam down. I'm telling you guys, Adam's he's playing with fire right now with the way he's.
I think his whole career he's been playing with fire. not being mean, but
at least in the pros,
yeah,
I think he definitely has. So yeah, that's my upper. Joe, what do you got for an upper?
You already know what my upper is on this.
I know it's Evan wants to. Evan he's been begging to say. He's been like Uncle Vincent with his hand up. What do you got, Evan? Oh, you just want to talk in general?
Yep, just want to talk.
What do you want to say?
Go for it, bud.
Just want to talk about stuff with you guys.
All right,
get on in here.
What do you think about what you see on screen right now? What would you do right now if your rear wheel was so full of mud it couldn't roll?
I would try to get as much out.
You would?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I feel like you would just lean it up and go
sit down, buddy.
And just go back to the pits. And
well, it depends if I'm tired or not. If I'm tired, then I think go back to the pits. But if I'm not tired and feeling fine,
you're too young to be tired.
Yeah, what do you mean
I get tired a lot.
I just got tired walking in here.
How do you get tired, Evan? You're 9. I didn't get tired till I was like 15.
Heat, you dodo head.
Whoa, dude, you got dodo headed. That's gnarly.
Yeah, come
Joe,
on, Dad.
show title. Dodo head.
Dodo head.
Dodo head. How do you spell dough?
D-O-U-G-H.
Depends
Is it dough like pizza dough or what kind of dough?
About like dodo, like.
I think it's D-O-D-O.
Like the people that sing Africa, but with a D.
No, like the bird kind. Dodo.
A dodo bird?
Yeah, that's how I say
Okay.
it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it works for me.
Evan, what do you think about bike setup? How important is it?
I think it's actually pretty important because you could do something wrong and then the bike could be set up bad and then you could go out there and do something wrong. Like
okay, well, how about this?
Like how Ferrandis is using the clutch too much. It could have been by
Is that right?
Just bike problems?
Yeah.
Not riding the bike right?
Been he's just not listening to his manager.
Uh-oh.
He's listening to his coach, huh?
Old-fashioned case of
Yeah,
not listening to the
could've been.
manager.
Yeah, what if his coach, when he talks, he sounds like he's got peanut butter in his mouth?
Oof.
Why would you bring that up? That makes no sense.
Because your
I
dad
think-
sometimes is
I think
racist.
I think it's not racist. What are you talking about? Sorry, DV. He feel me. He sounds like he's got peanut butter in his mouth a little bit when he talks.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought you were
Doesn't
saying something about like
matter.
him being French or something.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Evan, did you know last night during the race, in between Moto 2 and Moto 3, I made a huge change to your bike, and I never even told you about it. Did you notice anything?
No.
Good.
What'd you do?
Don't worry about it.
Tell me now.
It was fine. Check your
Tell
tire
me.
pressure. Oh, Joe, look at Sexton,
Second
side of the
Geico
track.
bike down.
Second Geico bike,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh.
Right now, Joe's heart just exploded
I was
watching
like,
this.
Son of a bitch.
So what is your upper, Joe?
All aboard that troll train, bro. Alex Martin.
Back-to-back podiums.
Yeah, one of our boys,
Liking that?
Brickhouse 141 on Insta, mentioned it too. So I agree with
what?
him. Being on the troll train, and
Being on the what?
on the troll train,
What'd you
bro.
say?
Come on, you know Alex Martin's nickname.
Did he just say Trump?
Did you?
Did you sneak that in there?
I apologize if I did to anybody listening
Wow.
that doesn't
to all of
appreciate
our socialist
that.
listeners?
Yeah,
Just- sorry, guys.
actually, I really don't apologize.
sorry.
I know you don't. All right, so Alex Martin, back-to-back podiums. Joe, how do you feel like it's unfair that after the moto he was able to go to his parents' house right next to the Sand Whips and take a crap?
Ugh.
No, I think that's fine.
That's fair?
Yeah.
Mike, you think that's fair?
It's fair. It's totally fair. It's not his
Fair.
fault. It just happened to
Evan,
work out that way.
is that fair?
Yeah, think so.
All right, it's fair then. Oh, my bad.
Fair.
All right, Mike, you're upper.
My upper, I'm picking Shane McElrath.
Ooh.
You know why?
Because we partied with him last weekend?
Well, it's the first time I ever met him, and I realized we have, are battling on hairlines. So I was pretty stoked.
Unfortunately,
It's-
he's got
My
you
dad
smoked.
was
But then
trouble.
again,
No, dude, we were calling him Ernie McCracken from Kingpin, dude. 'cause he was just
Yeah.
waving in the wind when he was standing
Yeah,
up.
it's
there.
One
a
of
little
the best movies ever.
I don't know why he
I didn't
doesn't.
say we have the same hairline. I just said. I was
You know what's
kind of
funny about
impressed.
your hairline, Mike, is
Oh,
that
that there
for
isn't
how
one?
for how long. So, Joe, listen to this. Every time Mike comes in here, he always brings up the hairline. He wears a hat. He covers it up. He's all embarrassed about it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like ridiculous because do you know what's underneath that hat?
A brain.
An extremely intimidating skull. At the wedding, because he couldn't wear a hat at the wedding, so he had to go straight head out. Dude, he had the beard growing. He's got some grays coming
Yeah.
in it. He looked hard
Dude,
AF.
What did we say?
It's-
I had a vein ripping through my forehead or
Yeah,
something.
he was fired up and partying. He had a vein just dude.
Bro, it's Jason Statham stunt double
Yeah.
all day
Yeah,
long.
that's
Yeah, but
me.
harder.
Be
dude.
proud of that.
Statham almost-
I am proud of it.
Statham almost, after seeing
I mean,
you
he-
last weekend, Statham, look, he's got a little femmy look compared to you, dude.
know.
You look harder than that.
That's why he's
Man.
the stunt double, because the manlier one does
Yeah, I
the
gotta do the
stunts.
man stuff.
Ooh, I wanted to bring that up though. Joe and I talked about it last week on our other show. The new guy, the stunt double thing you did for that.
Yep.
You still get royalty checks for that?
Yeah, dude. I got one 3 weeks ago for $7.
Hey, when
Is that
you
how much they're? Jim
But I mean-
Hawley. Jim Hawley shows me some every once in a while. He'll get a check for like $3.45 from something random he did back in '95.
I got a 96 center one time. I was like, what do I do? What do I do with this?
Did you do anything with it?
Yeah, I mean, I put it in the bank, but I never noticed.
Oh,
anything.
I wouldn't
My
even
account
do it.
moved around.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
once in a while, I'll get like, hey, I paid my bike off and I overpaid by $1.40. I don't even deposit those. I'm like, I'd rather screw up your guys' bookkeeping and never deposit that for you sending me
You
this.
have some inner turmoil going on.
yeah,
man.
seriously,
What is your
right?
deal?
Like, just cash it, bro.
God.
Just
No,
let
that's
it go. It's all
just
good.
not worth it to me at
Hey,
all.
when you're flipping to the channels, because the new guy's on like Showtime all the
Yeah.
time, bro. Do you have to stop and just see
Yeah, every once in a while
see
I'll
where
check
it's
it
at?
out, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, Jeff,
I would for sure.
You know what Mike told me? See if he backs it up now or if times have changed with his age and maturity. But he says the star actor, that tall, skinny nerd,
Yeah.
was a total prick.
He was
DJ something.
DJ Qualls, I think
Yeah,
it was.
really, he was
yeah.
a prick. That's
he was
too
a
bad.
cool guy, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
He thought he was bad.
He thought he was like, and then you know what's funny is when you're filming a movie, you don't know what it's going to be like. Like I was there with like Tony Hawk and all these dudes. I'm like Tommy Lee
Otis
was
Hobbs
there.
was in there. Yeah, that's right.
All these dudes. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, this movie's going to be sick.
Right.
And that because I remember, I think Road Trip or whatever it already came out.
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
knew who
yeah.
that dude was. I'm
Yeah.
like sick and.
Because Road
And-
Trip, he was cool because he was super nerdy.
Yeah.
But then when he was in that movie, he was cool. And then I thought he was.
Well, I loved
Yeah.
him in Hustle and Flow, so I thought it was going to be. You know,
Oh,
I thought he was
Hustle
just a
and
cool
Flow.
guy.
Dude, so we were all talking, like there was a couple of girls that were in the movie and a couple of the dudes and a couple of stunt guys, and we were all talking. And someone asked me a question. I answered to the girl. She was asking me about jumping the bike. Dude, and he comes over, he's like, hey, what's your name? And I'm all, Mike. He's like, well, Mike, we were talking, so thank you. And grabbed the girl's arm and took her. I'm like,
Whoa.
I hate that guy now, you know? And then I watched the movie, and it was just like,
Dang.
it was such a terrible movie. And I'm like, man, you think you're that cool and you're doing these kind of movies? Like,
how insecure of that little prick.
yeah, he was a total dick to me, and I was like, geez.
He was trying to boink her.
Nah, dude, he don't know what he's doing.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Did you kill a cheetah? Love that movie.
Yeah, oh yeah, we remember.
Road Trip's one of my favorites.
Road Trip's awesome.
It is awesome. So is
You got it,
Euro.
not
So
so
is
much.
Euro Trip. Euro Trip's great.
Yep.
What was your upper again?
Shane's hair.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Eddie Road, really. Shane's riding really good. Talked to him at the wedding. He gave us the 4-1. Well, I don't know if you talked to him about this, but he gave me the 411 on the Star deal and just how it all happened. And a lot of layers to that story. I don't think it's probably fair that I would share those, but pretty cool. He's pretty excited, and he is pretty much under the belief that he's got one more year at this thing in the 250 class. He's on the verge of pointing out. And he said pretty much it was just a business decision. He's like, I got one more year. I've got to win a title to extend my 450 career. Their program is polished. It's perfect. They're not going through little hurdles trying to figure. They're primed and ready to win now. And he said the timing is what it is. He needs to win now, and he's got to go to the team where he has the best shot at that. So, is that fair thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. And, change is good. Sometimes you need, like, just different scenery. Maybe it'll kind of, wake him up a little bit and kind of get the fire relit.
I think so, too.
That's what I'm thinking.
There's something to continuity. But there's also when your time has wore itself out and you're really not getting anywhere, and maybe you've had a couple weird seasons where not everyone's really on the same page. You know what I mean? It kind of wore itself out a little bit there, I think. And I think, again, with his calendar and what is required of him next year, he's got to win next year. Or he's going to be the Davalos of the class. And he doesn't want that. He specifically told me, I'm not trying to sandbag that 250. I want to move up. And my way of moving up is I got to win in here. He's not looking to just move up just to move up. He's got to win. And he said it's nothing. He said on a personal level, he would have never left where he was. He loved the team. But on a business, he had to make a business call. And I don't blame him at all for it. And to be clear, his odds are better on Star next year than they are on TLD.
Yeah.
So he had
I think
to do
it'll
what
be
he had
good
to
for
do.
him.
And it's not like he took a major pay cut or a pay raise. It's the same program, same deal. Finances are probably very close, but he's on a program that is ready to win right now, and that's what he needs. So I'm with you on that. And then as far as the hairline goes, too, he is holding on for dear life. I don't know why he doesn't just commit right now and just go for it. Go Blake Baggett and just commit.
Yeah. That's what was awesome. Like I said, we were calling him the dudes from Kingpin because it's like he's hanging on
What
to
was
him
the
a
dude's
little bit.
name in the movie?
In Kingpin?
Yeah.
It was Roy Munson and Ernie McCracken.
Yes.
But we were calling him more McCracken because, like when he gets stressed out in the final and it's kind of
And it's just all like crazy.
No, the best
I
is when he
love
was
that.
all confident and he's like got that swagger and the fan is blowing his hair up.
Classic Bill Murray,
And he didn't even care. He
This
was
is the
like
best.
confident in it, and he was. I loved how he was like, overweight and just.
Yeah.
So,
It's like
he was
the 90s,
like the new guy.
the
He was
90s
super
kind of
cocky.
chicks
Yeah.
too. Like, yeah, for sure. It's great.
It's a good movie. But,
Classic.
Great movie.
All right, so that's uppers and downers. Congrats to Cooper Webb, though. Guys, get him. #bout time. How about a no toil giveaway, Mike?
Let's do it.
Do you get a... So you're done with no... you're retired. Do you have any use for no toil anymore?
Yeah, I do.
Clothes?
No, but I'm still going to ride, dude.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm switching my Honda over to Moto. Might race Mammoth next year.
No, you're not.
I might.
Such a liar.
The only thing I'm worried about is I've made it out like this far. Like I could see myself going out and like riding the sand pits and hitting a rock and getting hurt. Break my damn wrist and I'm retired. I could see that.
Guys,
What?
before we go to break,
Let's do it.
today's the anniversary for me.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
The femur.
4 years to the day.
Yeesh.
And I was there this morning. Me and Evan went out to Prairie City. And the craziest part is he tried some double today, right where I got hurt, and he almost ended his day. And I was like, yeah, don't jump that no more. Right on the exact, within 10 feet of where I got hurt 4 years ago today.
You got a little PTSD when you're out there?
No, because I'm not riding.
You're good.
No, but I rode there once, a year ago, last summer. Not really, but 4 years ago today, weeded up out at Prairie City, broke my femur, spent a week right here. You know what's crazy is the hospital right here, Mike, where you pull in. Mm-hmm. That's where I was for 8 days. While my wife was looking up lawyers online, trying to find which one would be the best
for the move.
Yeah, the best for the move out. That's why I don't ride. People always ask me, dude, why aren't you riding? I'm trying to stay married, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay married. But yeah, so happy anniversary to my femur. Feels great today.
Congratulations.
Woke up,
I
feel
bet.
good. So, all right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll do listener questions and wrap this baby up.
Main event moto.
Let's be real. Kids and adults like things that taste good. What if you had a food that tasted unreal and was healthy?
Dad, get me some Nature's Bakery.
What flavor, Evan?
Any, duh.
Seriously, my kid is a pain when it comes to track snacks, but since we started eating Nature's Bakery, it's gotten a lot easier.
But Dad, don't you always call Mom a track snack?
That's not what I mean, Evan. Make sure you eat Nature's Bakery when you're at the track. Convenience is everything to us in the Batcave, and that's why we rock a key bar and no-toil filters. Trust producer Joe, you're sick of that jingle jangle in your pocket.
Yes, sir. Just go get a key bar, like your Bat Bros.
And if you're not using no-toil filters, you probably still have a flip phone. They make one of the worst bike chores easy. Throw the filter in the wash machine with your ladies' panties, and they'll never be cleaner. Get with the program and get a key bar and switch to no-toil. Pay attention, Motoheads. I'm a picky SOB, especially when it comes to products on my son's bike. That's why we run Mika bars, sprockets and chains, and a gut seat cover, and it's not even negotiable. Look, if you care about quality and performance on your bike, you'll be running Mika metals and gut seats and covers. And if you don't, you're a what, Evan?
A noob like Uncle Vincent.
I hate to say it, but our NorCal Motoheads are pretty spoiled. Why? Well, where do they ride, Joe?
Riverfront, East Street, and Prairie City. And don't ask me who takes care of them trackside during the week, because it's EMT Racing.
And who takes care of them trackside during the week, Joe?
Really, man? I literally just said EMT Racing. You didn't hear me?
That's right. If you're from Northern California and support Main Event Moto, then spin your laps at Rep Racing Tracks, buy your bikes and parts from Modesto, Honda, Cowie, KTM, and make sure EMT Racing takes care of your trackside and service needs.
Spin your laps at Rep Racing Tracks. I see what you did there. I like that.
If you're from Northern California and you're a true Motohead, then you better get your bike from Honda, Kawasaki, KTM of Modesto. They also got betas, ATVs, and side-by-sides. And if you don't know how to use Google Maps, well then here, I'll help you out. Visit them off of Carpenter Road in Modesto and see their track support parts trailer at all California Central Valley races. Visit www.hkmodesto.com to apply for the rider team, store deals, and upcoming events. And check them out on Instagram at Honda_Cowie_KTM.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
All right, we are back. We never did the no-toil code. We just moved on. Sorry. Mike?
Yep.
Code for notoil.com. $100 free product if you use this code. You got to be first, though, guys. What is it?
SBD.
SBD.
You know what that is?
Hold on. No.
Evan, you know what it is?
SBD.
SBD. It's a quiet fart. You guys are so immature. It's silent but deadly.
Silent but deadly.
You knew that, right?
Perfect for dating.
Perfect for dating?
Yeah.
Make it quiet.
Evan, you got to get into the microphone. There you go.
But what if it smells and then you try to undercover it? Like, at least if she hears it, then you're like, yeah, that was me. But if she starts smelling it and she didn't hear nothing, then she's gonna be like, Evan, did you fart? And you'll be like,
Evan,
no.
if you were on
I'd say it must be someone else.
Evan, if you were on a date with a girl and she was a little gassy, what would you rather have? SBD, where you couldn't hear it, but she stinks the place up, or she just quacks like a duck, but there's no stink?
I don't know.
You got to pick.
I would take the duck, dude. It doesn't smell.
I'd take the duck.
Show title. I'd take
the duck. Yeah. Are you back with your chick, Evan? Are you back with your girl? Or?
Nope.
No. All right.
No, it's someone real.
She never liked me.
She didn't.
She was just using you for the presents, right?
Yeah. Did you hear that, Mike?
No.
He had a girlfriend.
She's not a gold digger, but she is a scumbag.
Oh. She dumped. Hey, she got with him. Was it before Christmas or Valentine's Day?
It was before Valentine's Day she dumped me.
Yeah, but she got the gifts first.
But she got with you before Christmas,
she
right?
got the Christmas gifts first. I should have never gotten them.
Don't ever do that again.
That's why you got to be
Make
like
them earn
Dad
it.
and never get them anything ever. Ask Mom what she gets for Christmas every year.
How old?
Actually, don't ask her that.
You're 9 right now, right, Evan?
Yeah, 9.
So in 9 years, you'll be married like your dad was.
Yep. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I wasn't married at 18. It was
Might
20.
as well have been.
Yeah,
What's the
it-
difference?
No, it was 21. I was 21. Maggie
Still.
was 18.
Whatever.
So you've been married for like
100 years.
100? No.
pretty close. Evan, get into the mic,
Not
dude.
even close. You'd be dead by now if you were married for 100 years.
He does
No
have
way,
a point,
dude.
Valid
You'd be
point.
No
dead.
way.
Heck yeah.
Have you
you'd
seen
be
the World
dead.
War II vets, dude? They get into their like 120s.
Yeah, not us.
Not us.
I guarantee
That's
it.
for sure.
Well,
All right.
listen, I know
Before
who
we get
it
to
is.
listener questions, brought to you by Scott USA and the Prospect Goggles, I do got to make a couple quick statements, points, something. Cooksy's coming in the show next week, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. He's actually flying home from Washougal, landing here. You and I will be finishing our boys' trip and coming and meeting him here.
Oh.
That's an early start, too.
Yeah.
You ready for that?
Yeah.
Joe and I are
gonna
going
be
to Somerset. You ever been to Somerset?
Golf course?
Is there a golf course set?
Yeah.
There.
In Reno.
No.
Oh, dang
It's
it.
somewhere
It's got
over
me
here.
so
It's not
excited.
far, Joe. Did you look it up? It's not far from
Yeah,
here.
yeah. It's like
probably-
up by Placerville. It's
Yeah,
like
we're doing a boys trip with Hobo Nick.
out there in the hills.
Just going away cabin for the weekend. But
Right
we're
on.
coming back here Sunday.
Stoked I got the invite. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, sorry. I apologize, but it got
Go to
lost.
one wedding with the guy, dude, and that ends our friendship.
Got lost in the mail.
Yeah.
But Cooksey will be on next week, and we'll talk about him. He wrote a pretty good article. He called the guys at Feld to talk about the schedule because the Supercross schedule came out.
It's terrible.
Salt Lake City.
Yeah, but wait till I'll save it. But wait till
Okay.
Cooksey's here. He'll spill the beans on everything, and there's some clarification on why Salt Lake City is the final round. And I actually think
And it has
it's pretty
nothing to
good.
do with the after party, I guarantee it.
What after party?
Exactly.
Exactly. And also, I got to make a point. I'm not afraid to throw props to other moto podcasts when they do something really awesome. I've always thought the Whiskey Throttle show was good with Langston and Pingree.
Yeah,
it's
I like
cool.
that one.
Their episode with David Bailey last week. I love David Bailey. I always have. Even as a TV commentator, I think he's my favorite by a
Yeah.
mile. And he was on there just telling his story, and it's unreal.
Yeah.
It was one of the most genuine interviews I've ever heard from a guy that I'm a little jaded. I already like the guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what it is when you go into an interview and you already like someone, no matter what, you're gonna be happy. I was more than happy afterwards.
You know
it was
who's
really good.
You know who's I really liked was Jimmy Buttons.
I haven't heard Buttons yet,
It's-
and everybody says
it's pretty
Langston's
heavy.
is good too.
Yeah, I can see Langston's
Langston's
good.
parents like split and then got remarried or something weird when
Huh.
and then Buttons I could imagine too.
Yeah, Buttons was because I've known the dude forever. He actually managed me when I first started freestyle, and I didn't know anything about just what you go through with back injuries, and yeah, it was pretty heavy. You'll have to give it a listen.
Yeah, it was Bailey's was really gnarly too.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about the day at Huron of all places where his injury changed his life and what it did and the timing of it. Oh, dude,
That's what tripped me out because Buttons came at my second ever Supercross, or
San
maybe
Diego.
third, whatever San Diego
San
was,
Diego.
second or third, maybe third round, and I think we were the practice after the the factory.
yeah, it was
guys.
right in those whoops, the big
Dude, he
whoops
just-
out of the first
Yeah,
turn.
he just cruised down the start straight, went in, wheelied it because it was like a little like 2 uphill whoop into the whoop section,
Yeah.
like a little step up. And I remember him like watching him wheelie in, just right to his face, and
weird slow
yeah,
crash.
and he,
done.
it was weird to explain the day, and it's like because it's vivid to me because it was one of my first races.
So you remember that day?
So I remember everything about it. I'm like going back on it, I was like, dang, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, Cooksey next week and Whiskey Throttle, David Bailey. Go listen. It's a really good story from the beginning to the end. I mean, he starts at the beginning, which is some crazy stuff. I never knew that Gary Bailey is not his dad.
For some reason, I did know that,
I didn't.
but I didn't have like clarification.
No,
on
he
it.
told the story, and I'm like, wait, pause. What? I had to go back, and I was like, say that again.
Yeah.
A little ignorant of me, but I never knew. I thought Gary Bailey was his dad the whole time, which is crazy how he decided to change the last name and everything. Mm-hmm. Pretty rad story.
Yeah.
But all right, Joe, let's get with it. This is our listener questions brought to you by Scott USA, the Prospect Goggle, and we are going to rip through them because it's hot. I got to get Evan home. Mike's got to get to the fair. Joe's got
Joe's just gonna be Joe.
his parole officer's on his way. We got to.
So
get
then
going.
let's read them. Then let's get to it. Let's go. Like,
just got yelled
that's
at
like
by Dad
the
so
longest
bad right
intro
there.
for listener questions ever.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, he had me. I was going.
Yeah.
I was with it.
Do you feel that was a little cross line? I feel like Joe was a
Yeah,
little.
There is
I think the heat's making him a little
habitual
testy.
line stepper, but
Yeah,
let's
okay, hey,
let's get
are we
into
gonna
it
get to him
already.
or what?
Let's go. Let's
Jeez.
fucking go.
You're the one holding the phone. Read them.
You're the one that would not stop introducing
All right,
them.
this is your Scott USA Prospect listener
Again, you already
questions.
said that. SWN136. What was in Davey Millsap's locker? We're starting off with a bang.
Mike,
What?
what was in Davey Millsap's locker?
I don't know. How am I supposed to know that?
I don't know. You
Should I
told me
just
you
make-
knew.
No, I don't know.
Evan, what was in Davey Millsap's locker? He got in trouble and got kicked off his team because he had something in his locker. What do you think it was?
Wait, what kind of sport does he do?
What?
Or is he in school?
Davey Millsaps. He's before
Evan,
your
you're
time.
better than that.
He's before Evan's time. Evan just started paying
David
attention.
Bailey was
like a year
before
ago.
my time.
He's an ex-racer who got in trouble. He was riding for a factory team, and they fired him because there was something bad in his locker.
An ex-racer?
Like he doesn't race no more. So why did he get fired from his team? What was in his locker that was bad?
Maybe trying to get on a different team?
Oh, he had a little post-it note.
He had a letter of intent from another team. That's what it was, guys.
Ooh, I was so close.
Good job, Evan. Letter of intent from Honda.
Did he really?
You gonna believe a 9-year-old?
I don't know, dude. You just had me sold on it more than he did.
You don't believe me?
I don't believe you at all, no.
I believe you, Evan.
I still like you, dude. I just
Evan,
don't. Okay.
kick him right in the ribs.
Too many bar fights going on in this podcast.
All right.
I don't want to break his
I know,
ribs
Joe's
now.
yelling at me.
Sorry, brother.
Here we go.
Sorry, Daddy. Hanson 34513. Does Cooper Webb win another one this year?
Evan, does Cooper Webb win another one this year?
I think he can.
Mike?
I think he can, for sure.
Think he can?
You know, like we talked earlier a couple months ago, he's a momentum guy.
I mean,
Give him one. I don't care if it's muddy or not. He went 1-1 like you said. And
He's
maybe it carries
a
over.
confidence guy too.
Yeah.
When he gets
He's my
it,
favorite.
he's scary. He's Evan's favorite.
He's
right?
one
my
of my
absolute
favorites.
favorite.
This year at Houston, when Evan raced KTM Junior, we got to walk the track, and he got to walk up to him and get a photo with him.
Yeah. Him and
That was
Roxon
probably
like
that was probably the second best moment of that night. First, on the podium.
That's right.
Oh.
That was
right.
The second best moment was meeting him.
The first best moment was your mom dropping the bike and having you launch into the gate. Did you
That's
ever hear
the
that?
third moment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We talked about it.
Awesome.
That's the third moment.
All right, Joe. So Webb does get a win, and I say yeah. You know why? Because Tomac isn't as crazy dominant. Marvin's up and down. Kenny's up and down. Everyone's up and down. So yeah, why not? I think Cooper can get another overall. I think Osborne can get one. I think Marvin. That class. Eli Tomac's the daddy in the class, but he's just kind of barely ahead of those guys this year. So yeah, for sure, I'll give him another one.
By Moto Fab, is mud the great equalizer?
No.
No, it's actually not, because you'll see guys that are normally 1 second apart that are like 8 seconds apart. It's, you know what it is some guys rise on a certain day and some guys don't. And it's an equalizer, I guess, for the factory guys and versus some of the good mud privateers. That's about it, though. But, I mean, the first moto, here's the crazy part. You ready for this? Roxon battles Webb to the end of Moto 2, right? Moto 1, their fastest laps were 10 seconds different.
Mm-hmm.
Webb was 10 seconds a lap faster than Roxon.
That damn base setting, man.
Yeah, and then he goes to the base. That base setting was 10 seconds a lap difference. See, Ken? Stick with
Listen
it.
See, Ken?
See, Ken? All right.
Clark Borden, is there a record for most off-track excursions in a championship-winning effort? AC may already have it.
He's got it.
He's got it.
I mean, there was like 4 this weekend.
Maybe Bradshaw back in his day. Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like Bradshaw had banners in his rear wheel a lot.
A lot, dude. Remember that one, like Miami Supercross?
Guy Cooper always.
Yeah, but that's because Coop was whipping it, and then he'd just go off the track.
For fun?
Yeah, like
and
Bradshaw's
landing
feet were off,
whipped.
and he was actually going off the track.
Yeah, that's true. No, AC's got that one for sure.
Yep.
Next one.
J. Beer Bauer 105 DB. What are some privateer moto van essentials?
Ooh. I got a guy in here with me who can answer that. You lived many years in the van.
A cooler, ice chest, whatever you want to call it.
And what's in the cooler?
Well,
a beer or
everything. Like, you know,
So a couple
you got
waters.
your electrolytes, your waters, a couple snacks.
2
a lot of
waters,
beers.
2 Gatorades, and an 18 pack
An
of beer.
18. And the 18's at the bottom, just getting ice cold.
Yeah. So you can, right after Moto 1, crack in that
it.
thing. Hey, did you ever race any fairgrounds races? Maybe a beer in between motos?
I never did.
I did at Banos twice.
Even with freestyle, I never did. I just had like that karma feeling. But one time it was pouring at a show, we were ramp to ramp show, of course. And we were in Mexico and it was pouring, like the grounds were all flooded. We're like, no way. So we went to the bar and I did a shot of tequila and a beer. And they're all, hey, you need to get over here. We got it all dried up. And I'm like, oh. And the tequila kicked in as I was putting my gear on. I'm like, this is stupid. Rode so good though.
Yeah, nice and loose.
You know, the problem is, though, you rode good, but that doesn't mean you make that a habit.
No,
you just
no
go,
way.
oh, I got away with one.
That was my one and only.
Exactly. See, Stank Dog?
Good disclaimer there, bud.
Don't let it become every time. All right.
J. Beer Bauer got a little follow-up. He says, DB, do you have any pics of your old rig? Your old van?
No. I mean, maybe somewhere. I don't know, but no.
Dig them out, brother.
There would have been nothing cool about it. What, Evan? Evan wants you to ask him a question, Joe. Just ask him anything.
All right, buddy.
Ask me anything.
This one's to Evan and Mike Mason.
Okay.
From AA591. Have you ever played Apple Mountain?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
That course was so hard.
Where was it?
It's right here, like You know when you're coming into Sac, Apple Hill.
Valley?
Yeah.
Or Apple Hill?
Apple Hill. I think it's
Applegate.
called.
Applegate.
No,
off
Apple.
Off of 80?
Apple Hill off 50.
Oh.
Like right before you get into like, I think is it after Placerville? Before you get
Maybe.
into Sac, somewhere
Of
there.
course.
But yeah,
Show
it's
me what
it's
the
like
place looks like.
like carved out of the mountains and stuff. It's gnarly.
Hey,
Yeah.
Evan, why don't you like golf?
First of all,
This is gonna be a fight right here. I can already feel it.
First of all,
Go
what-
ahead.
it's not even fun. It's boring.
What?
It's
Somebody's getting
so
kicked in the
boring.
ribs.
Guess who's getting payback with the kick in the ribs?
Boring. That's all.
That's all.
All right.
Next time Uncle Vincent's in here, we'll let him know.
Yeah, let them know that I said it's the boringest sport I ever knew. Oh, besides
Mike,
baseball.
if you had to make a choice right now, give up golf completely, or you have to talk to Vincent 5 hours a day on the phone every day about golf for the rest of your life.
Oh, I would talk all. Dude, that's what I do anyways right now.
Vincent, though?
Yeah. Dude,
5 hours a day?
Hey, he called me today, like right before I got here. He's like, dude, guess what? And I'm all, what, Vince? And he's all, I just striped my driver on that par 5, and then I hit my 3-wood on and 2, first time ever. I'm staring into eagle putt. And he's like walking to the green.
And
I'm
what
like,
did he get?
birdie. He got a birdie. I'll give it to him.
Wow.
He 2-putted, but
Wow.
he was so stoked. And Kayla, like, I hang up, and Kayla's like, I think I can kind of hear what he was saying. I'm like, yep. It's,
Hey, Kayla, how was Vincent at the wedding? Actually, how was Vincent and Mike together at the wedding?
awesome.
Awful, she says. She was sitting right across from me at dinner, and she's like, dude, whenever Vincent's here, it's this. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
she did. She moved on over and like ditched him, and Mike didn't even care. Just
Dude.
kept talking golf.
The highlight of that wedding was when I was sitting there talking to Ari, Vincent's wife. And I'm like, dude, because he was talking about golf. He's all, dude, the wind, you know, the air temperature, the face, whatever. I'm like, cool. And I'm like, Ari, how's it to be married to Vincent? She's all, it is intense. Dude, best line I heard the whole time. I'm like, I can imagine like going to the grocery store with Vincent.
Oh,
Dude,
so
can you
bad.
imagine? Yeah.
Because you'll grab something off the shelf and be like, that's not healthy.
Yeah.
He's just judgmental about everything. All right, next
We love
one.
him.
Next one, Joe.
By MotoFab at Mike Mason. My hair is thinning. What should I do? I don't want to shave my head instead of looking cool and Israeli. I would just look like Andre Agassi with a drinking problem.
I look like Andre Agassi, and I got a drinking problem.
He says
But he's bloated.
He's got a little
looking.
bit more. He says I wear a hat, but for work and meetings I can't. So do any of these shampoos work?
Nothing works from what I can get. I actually went and got like the consultation, and the dude's like, he's like, even the surgeries, it's not everything. Like, he was legit. He wasn't trying to scam me for money. He's like, no shampoos, no nothing work. It's just like genes, hereditary, whatever. Dude, the best advice I can give you is just shave it.
Accept
like, I hated it, but it was more embarrassing hanging on to like 7 wires in the middle of your head than just, and keep it like high and tight, dude. I don't use a guard or nothing. Just take her low.
Take her
Get
low.
her tanned up. Kayla always tells me I need to tan it more because I golf and I got I got the half white hat.
Hey, at the wedding last weekend, though, you got a nice little burn on that thing.
Yep.
It was
yeah.
good.
Yeah, she's good.
J Davis 219. Will DB be at Washougal or PIR? Maybe let Evan race amateur days.
Absolutely not.
Sebastian Graff 994. Will we see more of Cooper Webb on the top step of the podium this season? Also, I dislocated my shoulder riding motocross. Anything you might have to share about recovery or returning to riding?
Really quickly, did he spell it motocross or motorcross?
Moto. He's just said it MX.
Okay, so you said motorcross.
I misspoke. Maybe it sounded a little more like an R. So
Yeah.
are you trying to find something? I mean,
Yeah, I'm still bitter about earlier. I just felt like you crossed the line, and now I'm just looking at chances to cross back.
I know,
over.
but it's all right.
All right.
I'll answer his first question. If we can see Cooper Webb on the podium again, I think definitely yes.
I know I
Very
know
well
he's your
spoken.
favorite. He's your. What about the second one though, Evan? What do you have? Separated shoulder,
Dislocation.
dislocated shoulder.
Well, I mean, he asked how to get back in health, and I'm not good at health. I don't know.
You don't know health.
I don't know health. I'm not a doctor.
Hey, are you ready to start 4th grade in 1 week? You have 1 more week off summer break.
Yeah, but we've got to still go to Legoland soon.
Oh yeah.
Still haven't done that, Dad?
No,
Dude.
Still haven't done it. Says he doesn't have the money, but I don't believe him.
I don't. It's either that or you go riding and racing. You want to
Smart.
race or go to Legoland?
I'll race to get more money to go to Legoland.
Oh my gosh! All right.
He's a hustler.
He's a businessman. Look at a little Davalos over here. All right, next one.
Sposhawn 819. Should Coop have busted out the 6-shooter at the line on Kenny again?
Nah, that's a one-time thing. The old
I wouldn't have minded seeing it. That was pretty awesome.
I think I'd like to see it more.
again.
Yeah.
Maybe it's his thing. Deegan was throwing up gang signs in the early 2000s. Everyone loved to see it every time.
Yeah, the old Smith and Wesson. Maybe he should have. Evan, if you cross the finish line and you beat somebody just barely, you think it's a good idea or a bad idea to go up the finish line, jump, and point back and point at him?
Taunt him.
You think that's a good thing or a bad thing? You got to talk into the mic.
I kind of think it's a bad thing and a good thing. Well, it depends who's the person to you. If he's like someone that you don't know, then it's a bad thing. If it's someone like you know and is like a pain in the butt that's so rude to you, then
do it.
It's good.
Yeah.
There it is.
Dude, he is smart.
Needed another Smith and Wesson then, Joe.
I mean,
Evan says.
I got in gate in school, so.
Evan, talk into the microphone or we're going to have to take it away from you. Talk in the mic.
You beast.
You beast.
They're happy now?
Yes, happier.
Speaking of beasts, it's kind of like our next guy's question.
No.
Daniel's favorite Motohead, Bedtime Savage 69. DB, you catch the tagged picture of Faulkner's chick. Got a little bit of nip slip.
Oh,
Give
man.
it a peep, bud.
What do you think about that, Evan?
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Mike?
That stuff.
What? I didn't see it. What did I see?
Next question,
I
Joe.
don't understand.
I don't want to go any further on that one.
Stillman 441 at Mike Mason.
Because I'm here.
That's right.
You good,
I
bud?
hate being a kid.
I hate being a kid.
Yeah.
Because I can't know all the stuff you're talking about.
Oh, that one was dumb anyway.
Yeah,
Don't worry about
stupid.
that one.
Okay, good.
Stillman 441 at Mike Mason 81. Give us a greasy party story from the early freestyle motocross days.
Dude, every time I get asked that, it's so hard because there were so many of them.
Can I tell a funny one with Mike?
Go ahead.
This isn't. It's just funny. It's funny because of our history. I remember one year being in Dortmund, racing German Supercross. Dude, this is like the first night. It was a 3-nighter, I think. And we went the first night. I didn't even know Mike was there. And we get done racing. We went to the after party of the first night. It was like in this basement of like a hotel, whatever. And I'm partying, drinking, whatever. All of a sudden I see Mike. I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, what are you doing here? He was doing a freestyle. I was racing, and neither one of us knew the other one was there because when you're racing, you're not watching the freestyle, you're racing. And he's obviously not watching the racing at all. So we saw each other and we're like, what's up? And we just partied all night, like on a Friday night, but we had no clue the other one was going to be there until after it was done and we were at the after party.
That's awesome.
Remember that one? That was Dortmund.
Dortmund.
It was Dortmund. Yeah. Okay, next one.
Good times.
Dude, there's so many of them.
Think of a greasy
What
story.
year was that?
07.
Yeah, because Willie B was my teammate that year.
Dude, you want to hear something cool?
Hey, and Roxon was there on an 85.
Yeah.
On an RM85.
He was there every year. I was there when I first started going.
And it's
That's why
funny.
he's cool.
The funniest part, I remember that weekend there because I rode for Suzuki. Roxon's on an 85. He was like my teammate. And all the German people are just like, dude, we got this kid coming up. He's going to be the best ever. You Americans are in trouble. And I remember being like, whatever. And I even watched him ride and I was like, he's good, but come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what? Just because he's kind of good. Like, I thought they were way too high on him just because he was their countryman, whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you think they were right?
I mean, yeah, I'm wondering if he was on his base settings that night. I'm just curious. But no, they were
Do you want
right.
to hear my story or not?
Yeah, I want to hear your story. Is it greasy?
Dude, it's so great. Well, it's not really greasy. It's just cool. My first ever X Games, like I'm going to go there and take it serious. I'm like, I got this invite. I'm going to take it serious. Well, this was back when like moto industry was pretty cool. Like Oakley had a party on Wednesday night. Rockstar had a party on a Friday night, whatever. So we go to the Oakley party and Speedy, Ryan Fedora?
Yeah.
He was my team manager at the time. And this is the night before prelims. I'm like, okay, I'll have a drink or two and then I'm going to go back, get my rest. Dude, he comes over with just glasses of Jaeger and it's just like throwing them down my throat. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. So
I like how you didn't even fight it, too.
well, because back then it's like, dude, I got to keep my sponsorship, dude. I got to keep this guy happy because I didn't know Speedy really at that time, So I'm like, I'll do whatever. So we all like Cliffy was there, Tony B, my mechanic, my friend, and dude, Cam Sinclair was one of his first times coming over, and we just all get trashed. And we're trying to leave, and I remember seeing Cam Sinclair's shoes sticking out of the bush outside of the bar, like just his shoes. Like he passed out in the bushes. So we get him up, we get back to our hotel, and Cliffy and Tony B, they had another hotel at a different spot, and they're on like the 110 or whatever in LA. Dude, and a car's on fire. So the whole freeway shut down. So they're sitting there, wasted off Jaeger. They're sitting in the middle of the freeway waiting for this car to get cleared, and they both pass out. And they wake up to a female cop beating on the window with like her flashlight, and traffic's just blowing by them. They slept for like 2 hours in this lane. Dude, they both wake up, and Tony B, being the guy he is, she's all, what are you guys doing here? Like, are you guys wasted or something? And he had a map, and he's like, oh no, we just came down from the Bay Area. We just got this.
In the middle of the freeway.
He's like, when this happened, we were just both exhausted, and we passed out. And she's all, put your seatbelts on and get out of here. And they got back.
Wow, that's amazing.
Like intense, dude. Like, because it was funny. The next day we show up for prelims, all hurting. Cliff's all, dude, I almost wasn't here. I'm like, that is gnarly.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
so
a good story.
That was pretty fun.
That's a survival story.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Our next one, Joe.
Triple J 533 with how great AC Podium speeches are. Is he the next face of Supercross and follow in Dungey's footsteps like ESPY, Wheaties, all that good stuff?
He's got to get the results, but yeah, if he's putting out results like that in multiple championships, then yeah, his personality could definitely take him to some places. Don't you agree?
Yeah,
like,
I've always felt like, say something happened and like this, even his moto career doesn't work out, he's got like a good future doing
in anything.
what I
He's
mean?
intelligent.
He's intelligent.
He's always reminded me of Travis Pastrana in a way. Just kind of tall, skinny, goofy, but like funny and very like when he talks to you, he looks you in the eye. He's a very, very good communicator and a likable guy, and
really like
straight
genuine
up,
dude.
Genuine,
I think that goes further than anything. Is if you're a good person, people attract that. So,
and even Dungey had a protective personality a little bit, but he was such a good dude, and you could tell he wasn't full of it. That he got places because people wanted to use him as a role model because he was. And AC's the same type of guy.
Yeah.
So, but AC's got to get the championship. If you're not going to be I don't care how cool you are. If you're not going to be a winner, you're not going to get those things. So he's already got everything else taken care of. Get the results, good to go.
My boy Nate Dogg 38. Hey Bat Bros, here's one for you. Why do we not see any sons or daughters of famous riders competing?
That's a good question. What do you think, Evan?
I have no idea. It's either that they have too many children and they don't want don't want half of them to ride and they don't want all of them to ride. So I think it's that maybe
they got too many kids.
Have too many kids.
So while they were winning championships, they were just producing too many offspring.
Yeah, I think so.
okay,
I think so.
Sounds legit.
I can buy that.
Yeah.
Max Volan, Danger Boy Deegan.
Yeah, Deegan's
There's a couple coming up. That'll change here in a few years. Next one, Joe.
Eddie Navo official. What is the rider/mechanic relationship on the factory teams? Is there a team bond or do they work separately?
Both. I mean, they work separately sometimes during the week. A lot of these guys have their practice bike mechanics. That's their grinded out at home guy. And then the main mechanic is usually back at the team facility working on like the race bikes and stuff. So most of the top guys have two. They got their practice guy, they got their race guy, and there's got to be a bond with both. I mean, I can tell you right now, even with Jacob Hayes, he's had different mechanics throughout the years, and he says it actually surprisingly makes a huge difference when you have someone you bond with and someone you don't. You almost feel like you're getting ready to go to war together if you have someone that you're really tight with, and if you don't, he's more of just the guy who works on your bike, and you kind of hope you did everything right.
Like you have more confidence on the bike if you have a thing,
the chemistry.
a bond with the guy.
Chemistry,
Maybe
like
the
calming you down before the moto, like
saying the right things.
Yeah.
If you're a super intense person, you might need someone that just tells you to breathe. If you're a super mellow person, you need someone to get you hyped up. And if you don't have the right mechanics saying the right thing, and you just don't have the right bond and chemistry, that last minute before gate drop, it really does matter mentally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got to have the right bond. And there's been riders that get stuck with people that's probably not their guy, that doesn't fit with them. But that's why you see a lot of guys, they do well in the 250 class, they like to take them up.
Yep.
Like Chase Sexton's got Dungey's brother. Dude, when he goes up to 450, you would imagine he's going to take him with him because you win championships with a guy. You learn, you go through hard times and good times together. You kind of create a bond, especially if it's more than a year or two.
It's like when Ricky Bobby took his whole squad with him each time he got a newer, better sponsor.
Can I take a moment actually to interrupt this and give some rumors? Because people always bash me on how I always bring things up, but I never really say what it is because I don't want to blow up my sources.
Yeah.
You ready for me to do the opposite and not reveal sources, but just blow out some things that I've heard? I don't know if it's true. I have no confirmation, but I will throw out some things that I have heard as of this week.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
One of them is that Dean Wilson was going to be signing with Rockstar Husky. Did you see that? He did. So that's a done one. That was rumored to be.
Yes,
I think we all kind of assumed
we all
that
did.
was happening.
But JGR was making a move at him, and then the big. Here's the big one, and this is people are going to start talking about it. I mean, maybe Mathis will say this weekend because I'm sure he heard. If I heard it, he probably heard it too. This big debate with Honda is: are we going to go Wilson or are we going to go Savachi? What's the deal? What's the deal? I heard that as of like this week, neither. I heard Brayton's going to ride factory Honda indoor, and then Sexton is going to move up next summer and ride 450 Honda during the outdoors because he's moving up to factory Honda the next year. I guess the big holdup was Savachi wants a 2-year deal. Honda only wants 1 because they're saving the spot for Sexton. So they can't do a 2-year deal. So what's the fix? Move Brayton over, factory Honda for Supercross. Move Sexton up during the summer. And then let Sexton go right into the 2021 season factory Honda. Which means Savachi's going to probably end up at JGR. That's what I heard this week. There you go, guys. No more dangling carrots. It's what I heard. It could come true or not. I have no confirmation, but I just want to let you guys have a little juice so you guys can lighten up.
I like that.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
My day is complete now.
Yeah,
All right.
there it is.
There you go.
My boy Nate Dogg comes back with another one. He says, also, Daniel Blair, 125, for the love of motocross, please stop making predictions for riders. You're destroying our sport. Every time you make a prediction, anything but that happens. Just stop, please. You want to know what happened to Kenny? You happened. The only prediction you're allowed to make is that Cooper Webb will win every race from now on.
So there's a Webb hater.
Nate Dogg's got some hate in his heart.
Sounds like he loves Kenny and he hates Webb. Well, guess what? I bet you Kenny wins the rest of them, and I bet you Webb DNFs the rest of them.
Ooh.
How about that, Nate Dogg 38? Was that
There
Nate Dogg
we
38?
go.
Yeah.
There you go. There's my prediction, Nate Dogg. All right, next one.
Florida Man, 330. Are there any factory teams considering Moran's? Kid has been great.
No. He has been great, but that's not how it works. He's doing good enough right now to maybe get himself a cycle trader, an AJE. You know what I mean? Like you got to take steps. You don't just get a couple good moto finishes in the top 20 and then you get a factory ride. Like, I'll give you guys some more insight. Surprisingly, I'm obviously on the front lines of this thing, but Jacob Hayes, 5th at Oakland, numerous top 5 finishes this year in Supercross, or not, running top 5, good heat races, couple top 10 outdoors. Even for him, dude, the odds are still like, dude, grinding it out to try to get maybe the last spot. And look at the results he's had all year. You've got to take a step to get to the next step. So for Moran's, you're not ready for a factory deal, but you're on probably pace to maybe get a better deal that would give you the chance to have those kinds of results so you can still maybe not get a ride. You know what I mean? It's that hard. It's not get a couple top 20s and you get a ride. There's not enough rides, and there's too many good guys that they're doing the same thing. I mean, Zane Merritt can make the argument that he should get one. John Short should get a factory. There's got other guys in the same ballpark, if not even a little bit closer, that are all going to strike out on rides. It's just how the sport works. You have to be unbelievably, deniably badass to go from privateer to factory. It just doesn't work. Your better odds are going back in time and being 12 years old, and then you can get a factory ride all the way through, because that's what happens. These teams, stop. Just go on. Next question. I don't want to go down that road again and get pissed off before we're almost done.
You got it, buddy. P_Tibbs24. I've heard the broadcast crew in both Supercross and Motocross mention that Coop and Roxon are not the best of friends. Is there any evidence of this besides the San Diego 2018 incident where he shot his fingers at K-Rock?
No, I think he's saying 2018 San Diego.
2018 and the finger gun.
And the finger gun. Okay. Yeah, is there any evidence of that other than just the ex-chick stuff?
Yeah, that's all I know.
I don't even think it's really like they have any beef. It's one of those things where... Let's bring in the expert real quick. Evan, to the mic.
What?
If you were racing against someone that was your competition and you had a girlfriend and then they stole your girl... Well, you broke up with your girlfriend and then your friend who you race with then started going out with her. Would you be cool with him or would you be mad at him?
I'd be kind of mad with him, kind of.
Why?
Well, I mean,
Talking to the mic.
I mean, going out with the girl who dumped me that didn't even actually like me.
Oh man, he can't. He's
still thinking.
He's not
still
getting,
thinking about that.
He's not getting over that.
Takes
at all.
it personal like his daddy.
Yeah, he sure does.
This reminds me of something that
What?
happened. I saved one of my friends from actually having the same thing done for me, because the girl tried to get with another kid who was really nice, and I told him that...
You warned him?
Yeah, I warned him that if you do this, she will torture you.
You looking out for your homie, huh?
Yeah, I'm looking out for him. It's like I'm being his... What's it called? I forgot what it's called.
Bodyguard?
No, something...
Guardian angel?
No, that's his...
Dad?
Good friend? Good friend?
Well, I mean, we are good friends. but
Homie.
that's not the-
He's your homie. You're looking out
Okay,
for a
sure.
homie.
Cellmate.
Cellmate. Wow, perfectly described.
Yeah, perfectly described, Joe. All right, next one. Let's, how many more, Joe?
Like, what is this? Like three more.
Okay, here we go.
MP613, how do you feel about Stank Dog basically calling Ken Roxon, Cooper Webb, Marvin Muscan, El Hombre, Zach Osborne, Ryan Villapoto, Ryan Dungy, Ricky Carmichael, and the Real JS7, and everyone else under Alden Baker for doping on your show last week? That was a very steep accusation, and you didn't seem to challenge his opinion much.
What do you think about that, Evan?
I think that's a stupid decision to make. Like, why would Stank Dog do that?
Oh.
Saying they're being dope?
Yeah, he said they're
Said they're
being
being
dopes.
dopes.
They're being a bunch of dopes.
Bunch of doo-doo heads. Dodo heads.
Yeah,
Dodo
I don't
heads.
really understand what dope is.
So, Mike, Stank Dog was on here a couple weeks ago, and in regular Stank Dog fashion, just called out a bunch of people, said they were all doping and cheating and whatever.
Inflammatory.
And I just kind of just didn't acknowledge it and just moved on. And it sounds like I'm being called out in this question, Joe, a little bit,
A little bit.
for not challenging
you
him.
didn't challenge it.
Because it's Stank Dog is why. I don't know. It just, anything that comes out of his mouth, he's Jared. There's a lot of mouth vomit. Just a lot comes out, and I'm not going to correct everything he says that is either A, wrong, B, silly, C, out there, whatever. He's Stank Dog, and whatever.
If something came out, though, from that, I wouldn't be surprised.
If
I'll
what?
say that. Like, Baker's whole team.
Really?
Like, yeah, if someone like got in trouble, I'd be like, yeah, maybe. I could see that.
So Mike just doubled down on it.
Yeah.
So Joe, should I challenge Mike?
Challenge him.
Should I challenge him?
I'm not saying they do. I'm just saying if it came out that someone...
So you're
Wouldn't be
not
surprised.
okay.
Got
So
Christian
you're
Craig,
not.
I'd be like, oh,
you're
all right.
not saying that they were doping and cheating. You're
Yeah.
saying that if they got caught, though, you'd be like, okay, I
Yeah.
could have seen that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I didn't challenge it, because maybe I don't believe it, but I also don't not believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I live kind of in the middle where when Steak Dog says it, I'm not going to challenge him because I have a firm belief in the opposite. I go, well, you're a little further than me as far as saying it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's why, Evan. That's Steak Dog. I'll tell Steak Dog to stop calling those people dopes.
Yep.
Yeah, because
That's rude.
It's rude.
yeah. I mean, I don't know all of them, but I know most of them.
You think Cooper Webb's a dope?
Not close. Not even 1%.
Who's a bigger dope, Cooper Webb or Stank Dog?
I don't know. I've seen a bunch of Cooper Webb races, not Stink Dog.
Oh,
I haven't seen much of
so
his
that
races. So
he's
it
pretty
can-
much saying Stank Dog ain't even out there.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
call him out.
Boom.
All right.
Hollow Man.
All right. Hollow Manned him. All right.
Stink Dog is
One of
not-
three.
Stink
This
Dog-
is the end of it right here.
This is the last one.
Marco Pirello, doesn't it feel like it's just a matter of time before Tomac's bike breaks the way Savachi's bike has been blowing up?
Yeah, I mean, the way AC's playing with the off-the-track stuff, I feel like Tomac's gone a long time without a DNF.
Oh.
He's usually good for at least one a season.
Yeah. I don't think it'd be a bike, though. I think with the situation Cowie's in with him right now, they got to be double-checking everything.
Triple checking.
And Savachi's getting third-world parts, dude, and it's just not
Yeah,
it's not
the
handling it.
budget's tight,
Yeah.
and you're on your way out the door
Yeah.
anyway, so, hey, bro, you're going to run that piston in the ring one more week, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Joe, is that it?
We got two more.
Oh, my gosh.
Dude,
JJ Storms 2. All right, Bat Bros, it's September 20th. You're storming Area 51.
You want to go?
You get to
Me and
take
Joe are going, Mike.
You get to take 3 riders with you, any class. One is your navigator to get you in and out. One is your bodyguard, and the other is your last resort if all else fails. Who we bringing?
you pick the navigator.
Navigator.
I'll choose. Oh wait, I was gonna
Who?
choose Navigator.
Go ahead.
Go, you go.
As Cooper Webb.
Yeah, you know
Okay.
why?
I think he's
He
really
has
good.
great line choice.
Amazing.
He's navigating his career very well right now, just the decisions he's made. I think purely off navigation, I'm going Cooper Webb. Bodyguard, who you
Bodyguard,
got?
I'll go Weston Pike.
Jacob Hayes.
Weston Pike.
Is that fair? He's not racing, but is that okay?
He's a rider, yeah. Right,
yeah,
Joe?
I take him.
Absolutely.
Weston Pike. And then who's the third one?
What's the third one?
The third one says just last resort if all else fails. Like, who's your third dude?
Brayton, for sure.
Utility guy, probably.
Stank Dog.
What? Dude, we'll lose him out in that desert so fast. You kidding me?
Dude. He'll be talking to the
Okay,
end.
I'm outnumbered. I'm outnumbered.
All right.
Last one.
Last one. Here we go.
Eric Looney, Bat Bros. You've talked about some of the work you've done with Evan to improve his skills.
Oh.
Would you be willing to share some of the stuff that helps the most? My son is not that good, but likes to ride, so I'd like to help him get better.
I think Evan can answer. Joe, just talk to Evan. Talk to Joe. He wants to know what you can work on to get better. What have we been working on? Just tell Joe what we've been doing.
I'm mostly working on working on my 65 on the clutching. Well, it depends on if he's on a 50 or 65.
Just say 65.
Okay, if he's on a 65, then you should work getting used to the clutch like how we did today. Not using it, just like putting your fingers in the like right spot for when you're actually going to use it.
Yep, that's a good
Just
one.
put it there so you can get used to it. So when you are using it, you're already used to like feeling it, so you can do really good at that.
Okay, that's good. What about on a 50? What if his kid's on a 50? What do you got to work on?
Well, mostly speed in the corners. I mean, that's on every bike. Speed in the corners, probably, I don't know, not being afraid of jumps like I was.
You're afraid of jumps?
I'm freaked out of them.
What?
Whenever I see a big jump, I'm like, heck no. I'm like,
It's weird, too, because he's got a 100% perfect rating off jumps, but okay.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is he's not
weird.
afraid of dad yelling at him, which happens all the time, but he is afraid of jumps, which he's never had a problem on one. Mm-hmm. Go figure.
A little backwards.
A little bit.
I know,
okay.
It's really weird.
It is. It's Evan, that's called ass backwards disorder.
Yep.
Your mom has it too, though. It's okay.
I'm
Oh,
not going to say
ABD.
you know what, I'm saying but instead.
ABD.
ABD with that SBD.
That's
Yeah.
right. All right, guys. Good show. Mike, going to the fair?
Yep. Go
You
watch some
gonna eat a
freestyle
fun- you
motocross.
gonna
I
eat a
just
funnel
can't get
cake?
enough of it. No way. Those things are
I
disgusting.
am going home.
Evan, we're
I
going
disagree,
home.
bro. Those things are
Mom,
good.
just-
They're so good, but they do feel bad after.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Nobody cares about the after. It's,
Maybe I'm
you
going
know.
to watch this show.
Joe, what are you going to do after we're done here?
Trying to do this. I'm going to process this damn episode and then probably go back to bed. I don't know. We'll see what
Back to
happens.
bed?
Yeah.
Back to...
Yeah,
What
exactly.
time is it? What
You should have
time
just
is
said
it?
a nap because look, you just got the blood.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, sorry, guys. Sorry. I did mean a nap.
Good show, guys. Nature's Bakery, Fly Racing, Skivvy Underwears, Mika Metals, Scott USA, No Toil, Honda Cowie, KTM and Modesto, Guts Racing, EMT Racing, Keybar, Rep Racing, and Motosport.com. Joe, we got to give away the Washougal VIP pass, too.
Ooh.
So, Mason, before you leave,
What do you want?
what place did Mike... We need a trivia question. We need a trivia question about you. You're the
What
guest.
year did I retire? No, it was a joke.
The first time.
The first time. Yeah, actually, that's a good one.
What year did Mike Mason win his first gold medal?
There we go.
Hit
Boom.
me on the DMs, and whoever is first gets the VIP pass to Washougal. But again, you have to be going to the race. Some of you just don't listen. Hold on, Evan. Some of you just don't listen, and you hit me up, and you're like, bro, did I get it right? And I'm like, you sure did. And he's like 4 states away, and I'm like, you going to the race? No. I'm like, well, thanks for going to my DMs. Appreciate you wasting my time. If you're going to Washougal and you know the answer, hit me up, and if you're first, you get the VIP pass from motosport.com. Evan, parting words before we leave. What's up?
Okay, it's about that thing where you said, what year do you think he retired? Guys, what year did you think I will retire in? What year do you think I'll retire? What year?
If you ride like you did last night in the first 2 motos, it'll be 2019. If you ride the way you did in the second 2 motos,
Don't answer it now. No, I'm just...
2039. I think we can get. I think we get 20 more out of this thing.
So think of my age. Like,
You're 9.
right now I'm 9, and think...
When do you want to retire from racing?
I don't know, probably when I'm like... I have no idea.
Pick a number. Pick an age.
When did you retire?
The
first time?
The word retire isn't maybe the fairest word for what
Yeah.
Dad did.
Oh, you quit.
Yeah, that's.
Right, Mom, I'm getting a little bit disappointed in Mom for doing that.
Yeah, for Mom making me quit.
Yeah.
That's right. No,
So I think I do like 30 something.
30 something. All right, Chad. All right, good show. Evan, thanks for hanging out and having a good attitude. Joe, thank you for being you.
Yeah,
You're
buddy.
Goodbye.
Just
here,
amazing.
man.
Oh, never mind. You disrespected me earlier. Never mind. Screw you. And Mike, thanks for coming in. Enjoy the fair.
Yep.
And
Thank you.
um,
I will.
and again, just want you to embrace the look, bro. You look
I do.
good.
I do.
Let the beard grow out though. Let the grays come out with it.
I
You
just
look sick.
got off. Yep. I'll run it.
All right, good show, guys. That's
Cheers,
episode
boys.
127. Later.
Main event, Moto. Screw it. You know it by now.